7:00 p.m. and we shall commence our Library Advisory Board meeting for October 20th, 2023. Roll call, everyone is present and accounted for except for Nicole, which we knew about. And so we do have quorum. And approval of previous month's minutes is our first task of the evening. Are there any comments or questions about the minutes? Seeing none, the minutes are approved. Are there any members of the public who wish to be heard at this time? Seeing none, we will move on. Our sole item of business, new business this evening, is our icebreaker.
Which I have.
Thank you.
So it's called Two Truths and a Lie. We will each go around and say 3 facts about ourselves. One is not true. The other 2, two are true, one is not true. And everybody else is going to guess which one is. So I'll go first. I was born in Athens, Greece. I played the tenor saxophone. And I went to law school at the University of Kentucky.
I have to guess which one is the lie.
Yeah.
Might be faster if we just go in some sort of mood.
However you want to do it.
Katie, do you think you know?
Oh, I can't hear her.
Oh, we can't hear you.
So, okay, yeah, okay, sorry. I would say that the lie is the tenor sax.
You are correct.
Oh.
I think you were supposed to let all of us tell us.
But then we would be here all day.
Would be here, okay.
You're right,
All right.
you're right.
Mm-hmm.
That's it's a really big instrument, that's all. My husband played the tenor sax, and he was also for the football team, and he said playing the tenor sax was more work than being.
That's funny.
Oh, well, yeah.
Okay, then I think Katie should have to go next.
Nope, I'm gonna pass for a moment. I'm still thinking.
All right, I'll go. I did ballet on point for 10 years as an adult. I played the pipe organ, and I went to the University of Vermont.
Pipe organ's the lie.
Okay, ballet's a lie. University.
Wow,
Yeah.
good job.
I didn't go to the University of Vermont. I went to Skidmore College.
I should have known that.
You're an
Good one.
accomplished
Well,
author,
I mean-
and you danced on point for 10
For 10
years.
years.
As an adult.
As an adult.
That was the
Not
part-
professionally.
I know, but that's the part that got me. I thought, okay, maybe it's
You
a
have to
kid
be
with
sneaky with
this
this
game.
Yeah. I played the pipe organ in college.
On point.
Yeah. Not at the same time.
Wow, yeah, those were 2 tricky pastimes. My goodness, you were busy.
Yeah. I can't do either one of them anymore, but, you know, having done them is an accomplishment. So.
Well, I was going to guess the Vermont one, so I'll go next. I would have spoke up. Jobs I have had and been paid for. I worked at a very upscale alpaca farm. I organized and ran children's birthday parties at a party room. And I designed book covers. For Karen McGrath Publishing.
Party room.
I
Oreo.
think the book cover
The book?
is the lie.
Mm.
The book covers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the lie.
I was gonna say that too.
Okay.
Is it?
I was gonna say alpaca farm.
The book covers is the lie
Mhm.
because I designed book interiors for Karen.
Oh my God, this is.
I know it. That's exactly what I was thinking, Amy.
Was
That's
it?
so funny.
You just gotta, you inspired me, Charlene, to be sneaky.
Sneaky.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess that's Susie since Katie already went.
No, Katie would go.
Did
I
Kate-
can.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
yes,
can go too.
yes.
I'm still thinking of my third.
Okay. The day before my 10th birthday, I broke my arm and my dog died. I used to sled down the driveway with a cello case in elementary school. I used to raise rabbits.
You used to raise what?
Rabbits.
Oh, rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
Can you repeat them one more time, please?
Sure. The day before my 10th birthday, my dog died and I broke my arm. In elementary school, I used to sled down my driveway with my cello case, or I used to raise rabbits.
Rabbits.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The other two were too specific.
I'm gonna say the day before your 10th birthday is the lie.
Or it's gonna be she went down on her bass viol case.
Not the cello case,
Not a
yeah.
cello case.
It was my brother who used to sled with his cello case. Very similar.
Very creative, though.
Yeah.
That's how my mom finally convinced this school that he needed a home cello and then in school cello. Because he was going to ruin it.
Looks like it's the city employees.
Okay. Okay. So mine are I speak 3 languages. I performed in the Super Bowl halftime show, or I was suspended in
Suspended in what?
What was
kindergarten.
the last one?
Suspended in kindergarten.
Oh,
I'm gonna say that last one is your lie.
Anyone else?
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl? Anyone else?
Yeah, I'd say so.
the right one was a lie.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so the lie is I speak 3 languages. I only speak 2. I performed in the '98 Super Bowl halftime show in San Diego. It was the tribute to Motown.
Yay.
And I was suspended
That's
in
amazing.
kinder because I kicked the 5th grade cross guard. I saw my parents across the street and he tried to grab me because I was trying to dart across the street and I freaked out. So I kept kicking him until he let me go. Then I got in trouble and spent some
I was sure that was
But
a
he
lie.
had it coming.
I was
He had it coming.
I was thinking you were suspended, but not in kindergarten.
In kindergarten. I was.
That had the feel of truth to it.
I mean, it did. I was just
I mean, I don't know Susie that well, but that just.
Well, going with how everyone's
was
doing their
stranger
lives.
danger.
Like, well, she got suspended just in first grade.
Yeah.
That's what I was like.
That sounds like a young person sticking up for themselves.
Yes. No, it was stranger danger. I'm like, I saw my parents
Touch
there.
me.
Yeah. It was like,
Well, I mean, they
Yeah.
could have just had a conversation with you.
I don't know. It was in the 70s. I
Oh,
was
yeah,
like,
that's right.
It's like they just throw your butt out.
What were you
Very-
performing?
Go home, think about it.
Tribute to
don't come back.
Motown.
No, I know,
Oh.
but what was your medium?
What do you mean?
Like,
just it
were
was
you
A dancer?
Dancing,
dancing? Oh, dancing. Yes,
Okay.
dancing. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was like I was literally half the person I am today. I was much smaller back then.
That's remarkable.
I can go, but I'm really having a hard time thinking of a lie.
Well, I've discovered how easy it is just to come up with the truth and then
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
just
slightly
Slightly
change it.
it.
random. I've been published a handful of times in various journals, and I can speak 3 languages. Some
You probably can.
and I've traveled outside the U.S.
Hmm.
3 languages as well.
I think the travel outside the U.S. is the one.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm all with that.
Yes, that's correct. I'm not. I've never been outside the
Wow.
U.S.
All right, so I played trombone most of my life in college. I was a professional bread baker at one point in my life, and I was an exchange student in high school in New Zealand.
Hmm.
You were an exchange student, but not in New Zealand, someplace else.
That's the lie. I don't know which part of it is the lie.
This is the problem with going last, is everyone figures out how you lie.
Oh.
I was an exchange student in Australia.
Ah,
But
okay.
I traveled to New Zealand during that trip and got stuck there for a day because I had a one-way visa back then, and a student visa. And I went on a band trip to New Zealand,
Oh.
and no one, including me, seemed to think about the fact that
You couldn't get back to Australia.
or that I was traveling to a different country.
Yeah. That happened to, we had an exchange student from Spain
Mhm.
when I was in high school, and we went up to Canada to go to the Montreal
No.
Expo, and we're coming back. And everybody else stayed on the bus, and they took her off the bus and talked to her and all those things. So they finally let her go. But
So how'd
it didn't
you
occur
do
to
it?
us.
The two governments kind of spoke to each other, and at the time I was, like 17, I think. They said, they lied and said I was just a very scared 11-year-old boy who didn't know what he was doing, and so they let me go back.
Uh-huh.
And then I went, and then when I got off the plane, I was greeted by a number of armed Australian police, and I was brought into a room and answered some questions. They were very kind, though. It was still scary. I had to fill out all this paperwork, which I knew almost no answers, like,
Oh my gosh.
like, where was your dad born? Like, what time of day? You know, it was just like, I was like, I don't know. They're like, it's fine, just, you're good.
Is it really scary in an Australian accent?
No, it's not.
Wow.
Hey, wait.
I hope you still play trombone.
No, that college ended that. It was. I wish I would have stuck with it because I loved it, and then out of college back then, like there just wasn't a good outlet for that instrument anywhere. And then now, fast forward, like even just 5-10 years ago, now it became cool. Like it's in rock bands. I'm like, damn it, I could have been somebody.
That's funny.
I could have been in a Super Bowl halftime show.
You could.
Yeah.
fun.
That was fun.
Do we have a volunteer for the next time we do this?
Okay, I'll volunteer.
Yes, I wasn't looking at you like
I
trying
know,
to
but
influence
I
you,
feel
but-
like I haven't been pulling my weight because I've
Oh.
been so stressed out. It's over, so now I can do it. Okay.
Excellent, thank you. We're gonna dig up some old business now. First, we have our public comment procedure follow-up, which if you remember last month, Barbara graciously agreed to bring us some wordsmithed language,
Some kinder,
a kinder, gentler policy or procedure. Would anyone like to read it out loud? Barbara, would you like to read it?
I will be happy to read it. The Library Advisory Board welcomes comments from the public. We are happy to receive comments from the public at this time. Since we have a set agenda that we need to follow, we ask everyone to keep their comments to 3 minutes or less. If the board has any questions for you after your comments, that won't count against your time. Before you begin, please tell us who you are and where you live. We'd also like to know if you are an active Longmont library user. If you're providing these comments on behalf of the group, please let us know that too. Do keep in mind that this meeting is being recorded, and the recording is posted on the City of Longmont's website and maintained as a public record. You are very welcome to stay and observe the rest of the meeting. We appreciate your interest and attendance.
Oh, that's much better.
Especially during that night.
Yes, but even so, much more friendly sounding.
Thoughts, comments?
Would we read this like if somebody was there? Like as a, like what we would do to introduce their time?
I think that's the idea.
Could you envision a version of this that could go like on the city website, like the page where our meetings are posted?
I think that's a good idea too.
I think it's like, you know, maybe changing 2 words, like this time. When I was listening to you read it, it was so conversational and welcoming, I thought, informal, that I was listening, you know, I was kind of thinking about what we discussed last month and listening for like, oh, what's got taken out, what's missing, but I don't think that anything substantive has been lost.
Yeah, I can't remember what the old one said now either, because yeah, it just feels really natural.
I think there might have been a phrase about, you know, how we might communicate back if we aren't able to share an answer, or, but you know, I think that can all be handled ad hoc.
Depending on what the comments are.
Right. If
Yeah.
someone wanted a different kind of
Yeah.
response, then, you know, we would
Yeah.
talk to them about it then. But it would be some version of, we're not gonna give you a response in this meeting.
Yeah.
Does anybody have suggestions for changes, clarifications? Is there anything unnecessary that doesn't need to be in here? I think, is this the same version that we're seeing on the,
Yes.
because the 3rd paragraph ends with a comma on the screen, but it is a
Oh,
period
I
on
did
the
update
paper.
that on the paper version.
Okay.
because it didn't tell me
Thank you,
to update
Tracy.
that.
You understand me. adopt this as the language that we share when someone does join our meeting?
Need a motion.
You do need a motion.
I move we adopt this. It's the language we share in our meeting.
And on the website.
And on the website.
And I will second.
And nobody's arguing, so
Mhm.
let's do it. It is approved. We now have some guidelines and description for when we are inundated with public comment, and I'm grateful for it.
And thank you to
And many, many thanks to Barbara for taking us
drafting.
over the finishing line. We have some more languagey things to return to. One of them is our board interview process and the questions that we ask in an interview. So process an interview.
I don't have a
I don't
digital
have
copy of this.
Oh, digital.
It should have been with the board packet.
Yes.
Invitation.
Oh, then I do.
Email.
Please stand by. Pull that up.
And so, if anyone needs a brief refresher, and jump in and add to what I'm saying, but I remember that we started off looking at the language of the questions, and then we realized that we wanted to change the language around the whole interview process. And make it as clear and up to date to reflect this board and our work in 2025. Thank you.
And if I recall also, you wanted it to kind of make sure it was consistent with what we ask people on the application.
Yes,
Just what we-
yes.
Yeah, I have the application open right now at the same time, and I see that one of the first substantive questions is, tell us about yourself and why you would like to be a member of this board. But that kind of like under the what we want to learn about the candidate section, like that's the first question. So yeah.
I'm so
To me, that's
sorry.
just
I
really
wish I
kind of,
didn't forget my
sorry.
copy from last month. I'm so, were you saying something, Katie? Did I cut you off?
No, I couldn't hear. It sounded like somebody there was saying something.
I was grumbling that I don't have my copy from last month because
Sorry.
we did make recommendations on that first couple of chunks. Like, John, you had.
I see. I
comments.
guess this is. I guess these recommended questions, like in the grid, it's almost like a scoring rubric, and yet it says like the top of the first column says recommended questions. But I get that at the same time it's kind of like a scoring rubric, and so to me, like I think if this is in fact a scoring rubric, I think that the motivation for volunteering is something that should be scored. If that's how that like recommended questions section is. I guess maybe that's my question right now. Is that a scoring rubric, or are these questions we're supposed to be asking?
I think in the boxes, they're supposed to be literal verbatim questions that we're asking, and then we score them. There's no key, right, to the, there's no rubric here. we assume that 1 means they didn't answer it satisfactorily, and 5 is very satisfactorily, like a Likert scale kind of situation, but it doesn't say that.
I know, and what would a number 3 response be?
You're all right. We could put up with it.
Right.
No, but I mean, like, if the answer is, are you an active library patron?
Right, it's pass fail, right? Like, and to me, like the questions above it, what like where it says what we want to learn about the candidate, to me, those are really what should be scored on. Like the other questions, are quite esoteric. What do you see as the role of the modern library? Like, how do you score something as like grandiose as that? But those 3 questions at the top, like, yeah, like that's the meat of what we want to kind of get.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Well, and then to back up even further, I think we were questioning those 5 bullet points, which I see are the same 5 bullet points that are on the public information post, but none of us were really aware of the responsibility to prepare an annual written report. Is that correct?
We don't.
So,
We don't. And that came up last month in this discussion.
Yeah.
So one of the things we wanted to do was see if what's on the interview guide is consistent with what we're telling the public, but then is what we're telling the public consistent with our actual practice.
Yeah.
I personally don't think we should repeat any questions that are in the application. It's incumbent on us to read the application, and you know, there's a whole section where applicants are asked about their familiarity with current issues facing the board, what is your motivation, what is your relevant experience, right? So that all comes in ideally through the application. Therefore, the questions that we ask in an interview should be on like supplemental to that, deeper than that.
Yeah.
And I thought there were some good
There's a couple of questions that were captured in the minutes from September. I can just share them out, or we can
Yeah.
pull it up. But
That's exactly what
there
I was
were a
thinking.
few kind of specifics, and then also some that were kind of just rewrites, more or less,
Mhm.
of some of the questions on here. So hopefully that might give a good start to changing some of them. Like one of the examples is, instead of the first recommended question there in that chart, instead of "Are you an active library patron?" the kind of suggestion was, "What is your involvement with the library?" So that was the first kind of suggestion for questions.
Because are you an active library patron? It could be just yes or no. And that's not what we want. We want more information about how and why and what.
Right.
You know, what's your involvement in the library?
active patron should be like the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe just scroll down a little bit so we can see.
Yeah, I was curious what else was in the minutes though.
Do you want me to read them off and then we can go one by one, or how is that most helpful? They're not going to be up on that.
I think we can go one at a time.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of similar to what the application asks, but one of the suggestions was, what could you bring to the advisory board, or how can libraries be a vehicle to more social equity within their communities? So there's a couple kind of ties.
Right. That last one that you read, I think, it's right there.
Yeah, it is. So those are kind of reflective, I think, of what the application shares.
I like the "what do you bring" as an alternative to "what do you see as the biggest need?" But if I'm looking at the application,
And then there's one more specific, that fourth one there on the chart. instead of how it's phrased, the suggestion was, what do you think the role of the Longmont Public Library in the community should be? So a little bit more specific to our library.
Yeah.
And I know there was also a suggestion about adding some things centered on the mission statement. So one of the suggestions was, how do you interpret the library's current mission statement?
I really liked that. Is the mission statement on the application, or in the application?
It's not currently, I don't believe so.
And it should be.
And it should
Yeah.
be, yeah.
And perhaps we should read it to them again before last.
I would put it at the top of this
Yes.
document.
Yeah, instead of the purpose of the board, the five.
Well, no, I like that it's, it makes it clear that the board is advising the city council. Because that's not exactly what I thought when I was first started looking.
My memory of, I don't know if this was captured, Tracy, or it's just something I'm saying now, but the purpose of the board, the first paragraph's fine. I think you could strike all the bullets.
Yes.
None of that's all old information.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah.
not done, or probably never was done.
That
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
Yeah, so then you could just take out the,
You just don't need the bullets.
yeah, and take out with the following primary functions and
Yeah.
duties.
And then put the library board's mission is to.
Yeah, that's what you could do instead.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, and somebody can correct me, but this seems like a general application that all board committees and commissions use. So I don't know if we can put the mission in the application. I think we would have to put it here at the top of the guide and then say, what do you think of that mission or something like that?
Because it is. It's just one application, and then you select
Yeah.
what you're.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you're correct, Katie, and I wonder, is the mission on the page for the Library Advisory Board on the city website?
Probably not.
It just needs to be somewhere online.
It seems like it should be on our public information.
It's on the library's website. It should be on our landing page.
Right. That's what this is, our landing page?
No, there's not a landing page.
Well, it's where you go. So when you go into the boards and commissions through the city website,
Yeah.
you go into library advisory board. Sorry, this is the information that it shows.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. I didn't think it did. I thought it just
Yes.
showed who was on it.
Yeah, it does. It just, so yeah, that's not an idea then to swap out those bullets instead and put in the mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for that last sentence, the library board is an advisory board with the following, right? We can strike the whole thing, except move the advisory piece up to the top. So it says the library board is an advisory board consisting of 5 members.
Yeah.
Because I do think that should be like toward the top, because there are other kinds of boards and we are not them.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
So it does say it though, okay, sorry, there may be a bigger problem here. But so I am on the longmont.com site where it does have this introductory information, but then when you click, it then says in accordance with chapter, 2. whatever of the Longmont Municipal Code. And when you go to that, those bullets are in the municipal code under the powers and duties of the library board. That is verbatim from the city code.
What was the other thing we were asking about?
You mean the one that says 2.60030, Katie?
Oh, you're right, it's not verbatim.
It's not verbatim.
Yeah, it is slightly different.
It seems more consistent.
Yes, some things are similar. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I see it. Yeah,
And
yeah, this is,
That's actually, I think, more accurate than the bullet points.
I agree with you. I think that, yeah, if you want something in there instead, but again, the landing page essentially on the library advisor committee does say to click on the powers and duties section. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably good just to start with the mission statement.
Right. This is real. But it's like we're reviewing reports and budgets and plans. We're not creating.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So am I hearing that we could or should cite that code somewhere in these documents? Like to, or reiterate them? Like on this interview guide? Should we put something like for full powers and duties, please see municipal code section 2, blah, 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 and then have that be a hyperlink?
Theoretically, they would have seen it when they went to go fill out the application. So maybe the better question is did you see the bylaws, the city bylaws, where it applies to the library? Do you have any questions?
And then the other question I have is they don't get a copy of this interview guide stuff.
No.
So putting it on there would help us to be able to explain it to them, but they won't have it in front of them.
No, we give these
Right.
to Michelle, right? When we're done? Did we send these back
Yeah,
to
those
Michelle?
would go, yeah, these are pretty much an internal.
This interview guide is an internal document, right? It doesn't
Right.
live anywhere.
So
there's nothing that is required in here that you see.
right. No, but what I'm saying is, even if we put it in there, it's not going to really help them.
No, it's for
because
us.
They're not going to see, but we would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's for us.
Yeah, so, right, so maybe if you just want to get to what they think about the powers and duties. Yeah.
Like I like having this information
Ask them
together.
if they had a chance to look at it.
I love the idea of us having it just because it would help us be able to kind of formulate questions on the fly. Because frankly, I don't remember being asked any of these questions at my interview.
It was grounding
Yeah.
for me to have this kind of stuff. And it also, it's like if the applicant has a question, a nuts and bolts question,
Yeah.
it's nice to have some of this at hand rather than having to look it up on the fly.
Yeah.
I don't really need a scoring system either.
I don't.
It's
at
never
all.
been used since I've been here.
I agree. That's
I mean, you
not
can
been
come
my
up with
experience.
something if you want, but I think it's just.
I think it's like we discuss, are we recommending this candidate or not recommending?
And that's all that council will see.
Yeah.
We're not
Right.
asking for any like
I think
documentation.
there's a letter,
Yeah,
there's
that's
an
it.
attached
Yeah,
letter.
there's no.
that
It's
gives
not like
the
you turn in like your
recommendation.
interview packet. Or
No,
something, you know what
no.
I mean? So
Yeah.
No, your
I think
notes
the
are
board
your
can
notes.
decide how you want to do that, whether it's this or something.
I would much rather work
I will say that-
qualitative.
Yeah.
I will say that I did use this scoring rubric to test, especially the last round of interviews where we had more applicants than we had spaces. I did use this scoring rubric to kind of help me, advocate for who I thought was the best fit. So it kind of gave me a starting off point in our conversations. But I wouldn't use these things as the scoring rubric though. For me, it was more like the main questions above. What are your motivation? What do you bring to the table? Like that to me, and I remember writing numbers actually for each candidate next to those questions, using 1 through 5 as kind of like a guideline since that was what was below. But the ones that are in the scoring rubric just to me are wrong ones. I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
But without a key, right? Without agreement amongst all the interviewers, what those numbers correspond to? What's the difference
Right.
between,
Well-
using the scale on the page and just kind of ranking people yourself individually.
Right, in your, yeah. That's true. That's true.
Because I don't remember us ever discussing, like, this is what a 3 is.
Yeah.
No, it was just in my own head, like I didn't use it like as we were going through, but for mainly for my own notification. To your point.
I think it's a good exercise, but we can either sculpt out what the key to that scale looks like and have agreement around that, or we could have it just be recommend, don't recommend, and then like a neutral stand aside, like if you can't decide. And then how you are articulating your recommendation, that's where you would bring in, you know, they answered these questions really strongly. I wasn't sure about this one. You know, your own internal scale. I think we're jumping around a little bit, and maybe that's the way this has to be done. But if there are 3 pieces to this, in my head it's the questions themselves, and number 2 is the top information.
The bogus bullets.
Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna get rid of the bogus bullets, but, John, you had thoughts that I don't remember if they were in the minutes last month, about needs from director, because that wasn't exactly what you would say in your own words.
That was in the minutes as well, Jamie.
Good.
I think
What did
the
I say?
recommendation was to change it to who should apply, and then it felt like it was more illustrative of what it's listed even right there, how it is now.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
so more what that section's called, not so much. what-
Yeah,
okay.
the
I
header
remember you
section.
oh, need anything. I need anything from you.
That's exactly what I said.
Yes, with that expression.
Well, and as it's as we've reminded ourselves that this is for us doing the interviews, I do like having that stuff in there because I think that helps remind us of what it is we're looking for in people. I mean, we
Yeah.
can ask them those things.
No,
but
and
we-
it's true. And when the interviews that I've sat in, I mean, usually some sort of background info is given, just
Yeah.
verbally,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so so I would find that useful. So now, if those 3 questions that are there about the motivation for volunteering and sees they're all and what experience on board the commission, were you saying that those are actually on the written application? Or are they not? I don't,
They're
They are.
similar.
yeah,
I mean, it doesn't say library board specifically.
yeah,
But it says, why would you want to be a member of this board?
yeah,
And what do you know about the issues facing this board? And what experience do you have?
yeah.
It's
But so
related
if
to
that's-
what we do.
So if that's on the written application,
Right.
does it sound like we don't know what we're doing if we ask them the same questions? Or is it a way to get further verbal, because when people talk, they say more than what they're gonna write, probably.
Right.
And they can.
Yeah, I agree with you, Charlene. I think that to me, those 3 questions are just too important, but yes, it does sound redundant. So can we say, you've reviewed your motivation for volunteering, can you tell us more about that? Or something like that. I don't know, like expand
Yeah.
upon what you've already
Yeah.
written, basically, for the 3 questions.
Y'all suggested some really good questions last month. That was a twist on that question. like, what experience, if any, do you have? Like, how has your previous experience
Yeah,
equipped you?
yeah, because that was a
To
bit of
be
a
on
poser for
this
me, because I've
board.
never been on a board or a commission. But I, you know, kind of on the fly, talked about some of the other things that I had done in my career
Yeah.
that were, I hoped, applicable. So, yeah.
Totally. And we knew that because we read your application.
Yeah, yeah.
So we didn't ask about your board experience.
Yeah.
Maybe there was one question that I'm looking at now in the minutes that was not necessarily what you're talking about at the moment, but to ask the applicants what do you see as the most critical ways that the library board can advocate for the community using the library's existing resources? That was one of the suggestions.
And is that like do you see that that was an interpretation of the equity question?
Let's say almost like I'm not sure exactly which one that's referencing.
See, I find a question like that really hard because, you know, you may know a little bit about what the library board, but you don't know enough about the library's resources, particularly budget and all of that kind of stuff. And that's why I wanted to be on the board, was to find out more so that I could be. But I couldn't answer that question very well in an interview before I'd actually been on the board.
It's like there's a nugget of what we need in each of the questions, but it's not
Not
quite
the-
getting at
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, the question right before it, as Tracy, I know Tracy has the minutes in front of her, but it says, how can the library serve the needs of all Longmont residents? I think that's a way of getting to it without the other, you know, the way that other question is phrased is very weighty. To Charlene's point, that it sounds like you should already be an expert on the library.
Yeah.
You know, I think that this other question, how can the library serve the needs of Longmont residents, whether you know the specific ins and outs of the Longmont library, you still have a sense of why libraries are important, and why is it important to you? Like, what do you see as public libraries to be a driver for the community? Without it being, I hear what Charlene said, without it bringing on the weight of like, how much studying have you done before you
Yeah,
came?
yeah, exactly.
Well, and then I also think instead of saying the library, it's also important to say libraries in general. Because
Yeah, I think that's a really good point too.
Because you may not have a lot of experience here, but you might have volunteered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to ask what is most meaningful to the applicant, or what issues they're most passionate about, as a way of opening up that
Oh, I like that.
that
I like
question
that.
about their role?
Yeah,
It's like we all kind of have the same role,
yeah.
right? But we all have
And I think
different
then,
passions.
I think then if we also keep it general to libraries instead of the Longmont Library, I think that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can, so whether somebody wants to, if somebody knows about what's going on with the Longmont Library, great, they can speak to that. If they don't and they know more the bigger scheme things, great, they can speak to that.
Yeah.
But for that first question, we still want to ask, what is your involvement with the Longmont Public Library, specific?
Yeah, just to get a feeling for,
And,
what exposure they've had to what goes on
that
here.
allows a segue too. You can say,
Yeah.
well, I've only been here for a year and I've been a patron here.
Yeah, but I did this, that, and the other thing in the past, or whatever, yeah. And I want to get more involved here at Longmont, or here at the Longmont. Yeah, exactly.
Katie, do you have language written down for the or you could just remember what you said about how do you see?
It's from Tracy's minute.
Oh,
Let me look.
okay.
It was from Tracy's minute.
It is.
Let me find it. Unless she has it.
Which are you referring to?
The question about the library as a driver in the community.
Oh,
How can the library serve the needs or how can libraries serve the needs of all Longmont residents? Or I guess then we're back to specific. How can libraries serve the needs of their residents?
Is this one that you're advocating for libraries in general or a specific one?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it should be specific. That's a good discussion to have.
Different communities have different needs, right?
Well, that's true, because you could have been a volunteer at a library that had more resources, a different set of people to serve.
Different community.
Could be in a different community.
Yes.
Yeah.
With different populations who are receiving different levels of service. What else?
I looked at it too in case you wanted to
Oh,
look at it
that's
in-
what that was.
In real time. In real time.
Yeah, it's hard for me. Right.
I do like the idea of like reading the library's current mission statement and asking, in the last month we said how do you interpret, but maybe, what do you think of the library's current mission?
And this is the one we have up here. It's that we leave the community as essential, welcoming space for all to learn, grow, and be that's our mission.
I'm hearing you, Katie. Can you ask that again?
Reading the mission and then saying, what do you think of the library's current mission?
That feels a little too open-ended for me.
What in the mission statement resonates with you? What?
How do you see
There you go.
yourself supporting the mission? Where do you find yourself in
I
the
like-
language of this mission?
I like resonates because I do think that we should still at some point ask, the expand further on what your background brings. And so I think if we stick with the mission being about interpretation or what resonates with you, I like that. What resonates with you about the mission?
Mm-hmm.
We're not down to the nitty gritty hard facts yet. We're still just exploring their philosophy of libraries.
Would you include and
As I-
why?
And what?
Would you include and why? What resonates with you and why?
Well, I would hope they would share that. But yeah. But yes, good point. If they just give a solid, this resonates with me. Yeah.
That would be, to not
How's
ask
that?
why, would be one way to filter out candidates. If they just say, well, the word "be" resonates with me. Next question. Right? Like you're like, okay, well maybe this isn't.
Right.
I just love libraries.
Yeah,
And so I want
yeah.
to support this mission in your library because I support all libraries. And missions.
This isn't for me to say, but just general interviewing,
Yeah.
I would ask that. Ask it how you want it to be answered.
Yeah.
Don't try to
That's
presume.
true. Okay.
Yeah.
Good point.
I am seeing in the minutes that the recommendation was to change needs from director to who should apply.
Yep.
And I really I want to upvote that one. So how do you want to carry this forward? Between the questions that were in the minutes last month and the questions that we're capturing now, we could winnow it down and keep talking about it. It's 5 to 8. We have our reports and a couple more things. So we could keep going and agree hopefully on, whether we go for 10 more minutes or whatnot. Or we could potentially come back with a list of all of these questions written out next time, and everybody votes for the ones that they think belong
Yeah,
in there.
I like that. I mean, we've kind of gone all over the place, and I would really like to see it all just
Right.
listed out.
Especially since we've brought up some really juicy examples of same question, different ways of asking it.
Yeah.
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 And so I think it would be helpful for me, because I'm more of a visual person, to
Yeah, me
see
too.
them and then be like, I like
Yeah.
this one, I like
Yeah.
this one. Also thinking about some of the things we did in the mission workshop. It was nice to be able to
Yeah.
play with words like a little bit more like Play-Doh.
Would it be helpful to maybe have a draft of this guide, but with everything we captured in the minutes here and in the last meeting, as just something that we review with all of the listed
Yeah.
questions and then the actual updated
Yeah.
verbiage here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
Together.
changing needs from director, taking the 5 bullet points out,
Yeah.
putting the library mission in.
Yeah,
Can I make a motion? Am I allowed to make?
wait, I just want to ask, can you do the thing where you have the old document and then you show the cross outs?
Yeah,
and-
you do
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
Because I've
Track change.
tracked it, yeah, that.
I move that next month we bring this business item back with a revised draft incorporating the changes that were suggested for the introductory language, descriptive language, and a list of proposed questions for this board to vote.
I second.
Let's do it. I'm very grateful to be in a space with so many people who place a high value on language and precision and specificity, and everybody's got good ideas. Good conversation. Anything else on this for now? We're good?
I have a question.
Yes.
So does that leave room if any of us go home and come up with a fantastic question to come back and propose it?
If you
Oh,
go home and
yeah.
have a fantastic question,
Yeah.
can they email you?
Yeah.
Just email Tracy.
Okay. I would now.
Before she sends out.
Yes.
Yeah,
The next
preferably
packet.
Before, like, at least the week before the
Preferably
meeting.
before 3:30 the day.
No, not that.
Email Tracy by, what's your deadline, Tracy?
Let me look at the calendar just a moment here. So we're on the 17th.
Pointing out we didn't yet confirm our November meeting, but
I would say at least by November 10th, if possible.
okay. Thank you. Tracy. It's like untangling a knot in your yarn. And you have to, wait a minute, this seems to be going somewhere, but wait, now I gotta go back over to this, look at this website language, what they're saying. as we transition, I just want to acknowledge and welcome our friend's president,
I apologize.
Wanda.
Who is so glad she's on that other board instead of this board.
Do you let us know that when you're coming, or is this a drop-in?
I didn't let you know. I just
Okay.
got it.
I just wanted to make sure. So Wanda, we'll give you some time during the reporting and information.
Oh, I thought maybe just on that upcoming engagement opportunities, I could just talk to them.
Yeah, you
Things like
could.
that, yeah.
You could, but you know, if you're here and you want to say a few things about what's happening in Friendsland.
Well, that's kind of what's happening in Princeton.
Okay.
One's
We'd like to hear about the same. Board website language. What was our problem with that?
So it's got the same problem.
Yes.
It's got
I
the
think
same
they're
language.
related.
Yeah.
It's like we just talked about it.
So we wanted to do the same thing there, to put in the library board is an advisory board consisting of five members, and then the purpose is this, and the library's mission is, and drop that in there and get rid of those 5 bullet points.
It's literally the same.
Yep.
So what was I looking at?
Well, then on the next page, we've got the powers and duties.
That's what that was. Okay.
I think what I'm hearing more or less is maybe instead of those bullet points, merging the municipal code, and you don't necessarily have to list it out, but merging that into this section just to reference it here rather than the bullet points specifically where that verbiage is going. So it would just link to the municipal code instead of listing things out
But
here.
replace those 5 bullet points with the mission.
Yes, yeah.
And then for more information about the powers and duties, click here.
Did we also want to put what we just talked about the public comment procedure?
Up.
Or like even a condensed version?
Yeah, that might be nice if people are looking on the website to know that they're invited to come and talk. Maybe we'll get something.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, like what is the, this is another conversation for another time. What is the funnel for this board?
Yeah. I think most people don't even know, what the boards do, unless they have an issue they'll show up over, like, for the airport or something.
I talk to people every time I'm at a table or doing outreach. I talk to one person who doesn't know the difference between the Friends of the Library and the school community.
My husband.
I saw a lady, I was helping a lady check out books over by the Holds, and she said she was fairly new and she wants to volunteer, and so I said, oh yes, we need volunteers. And I referred her to, to the Friends, particularly because they need volunteers, but also to ask at the desk, because there's volunteers.
For the library, right? Tracy, are you guys needing volunteers?
Sometimes, yeah. It depends on kind of the timing of the season and things.
Do you refer it to you, or is there a volunteer coordinator for the library?
There is, and it depends whether they're of a certain age or not, but there's a whole list of opportunities on our website, so there's a bunch of different, ways that they can volunteer, and that would get them to the right
So
person.
you prefer that they get on your website?
That's best. If they reach out to us directly, we can still refer them to the correct person to get that process started, but they still have to apply through that website area, so it will still eventually get to that point, even if we assist them with it. But yeah, that's the process. Is they kind of they kind of choose where they'd like to be involved, and then we move from that.
It's a city general volunteer.
Yeah, we do kind of a funny thing. When somebody says, I want to volunteer with a friend, I actually send them a personal email introducing myself and our volunteer opportunities, and try to like be really super friendly because friends everyone remember. So then, so it's a little different. And then I give them my personal phone number and my personal email, and I give them Melissa's personal phone number and her personal email, and then we invite them to come down and sort with us and to get to know the team, because we really want to just like bring them in gently and then flow them out that way. So it's a little different. So we're not formal like you guys are because we're different.
Right.
So like it feels kind of cold to get on the website, because then we would lose people if we did that. Get on the website, sure. But this is how we do it. So I will do that for now and assist and then to you also.
No, and it's not
that's
an
easier
issue
for them because that's what they're going to have to do.
Right. It's just going to go through the process, no
Right.
matter how.
Because you're the city.
Offer
We're not,
that.
so
Yeah.
okay. Good to know. I'll do that. Get on the website. And if they're 16 and above, they can just get on the website themselves. They have to have
Yes, I believe so, because we do have specific teen volunteer opportunities, and those are a lot more limited for sure. That's a little bit more seasonal.
Thank you.
Any other input or questions around the board website, webpage?
That we're gonna add a word that says we welcome public comments.
Yes, yes.
Should we also have a link, to where, what the agendas are?
We were on there. Am I thinking of the wrong webpage? Like, this is where I went to kind of snoop around.
It would link there, because when you go into the board's section, like it goes to the library advisory board, it will go, the profile kind of just walks you through things, but then there's the meetings tab, and if you go there, then you can view the agenda and packet for each meeting, and that's also
Other
previous
stuff
meetings.
that's on there that's not, printed out to us.
Yeah, that doesn't show all of the, what like would show on the link,
Right.
but yeah,
What's
that's
in the
on there.
members?
It's just listing names.
Some of them have like glamour shots.
Only city council gets
This is
those.
council.
No.
I think it's just
You
names.
see your
Well,
Susie?
I'm sorry for like peeking over your shoulder like this, but I knew that there were links.
We were in the electric field the other day, a couple months ago.
Were you?
All of us, they had our names.
Oh, but not photos.
No.
Okay. And the electric.
You know those things that come with your life?
Oh, yeah, city line, city line, newsletter thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comes with it.
Something. We're gonna close out old business then for now. Can we come back with that revised website language, just like what it looks like when we pull it up in that Word document? Just so we can all confirm with our eyeballs and be like, yep, that's what we said. Okay, thank you. Final draft. Now we have time for our various reports and information items. Director's report is named specifically, but I also believe we have reports, maybe, comments from, no? Nothing
I
you
can
wanna
give
say?
you a report.
Wanda can say something. Susie, are you prepared to share anything on behalf of council?
Yeah.
Okay. Good, you can go.
Oh, okay. So for the director's report, a few things this month. One is our main vendor that we use to buy the majority of our collections, Baker and Taylor, suddenly is going out of business.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
It's sort of felt like something weird was going on for a while. It's been a little rocky ordering from them. And they were, as a company, they had an agreement to sell to another large company called ReaderLink, and then at the last minute, that didn't go through, and Baker and Taylor decided, well, that was our only viable option to exist. So they pretty much let most of everyone go, and they'll be slowing down all their operations and be done by the end of the year. We had certainly a number of book orders in there, so some of them came through, some got canceled. Got credit for that, but I don't know how that's going to work still. And we also, besides collections, we purchase a software product through them that helps us catalog. And so that one we don't know. We have other ways to do it, so it's okay. But we don't know if that, like they're basically liquidating everything, right? So that may get sold to another vendor, and then we can look at whether we want to buy it. The catalogers like it as a tool, so we'll have to see. For collections, the other vendor we use for some is Ingram, which is the other kind of big. There's only really two big vendors that do this for libraries, and many libraries use Ingram. We use them already. We have accounts set up with them. We just don't use them fully. It's usually sort of when we can't get it through Baker and Taylor, we go to Ingram. So now we'll pretty much be tied to them. They're getting an influx of new customers at the moment. But we were able to get a meeting with them. We being myself and technical services supervisor who generally deals with that vendor management stuff and acquisitions and all that behind the scenes ordering, right? Mm-hmm. So it was a good meeting. And since we do exist already in there, we don't have to start from zero and get things set up. So we will talk with them again about what kind of, they have kind of different levels of what we call pre-processing or the shelf ready. We weren't doing that for all of our collections anyway. It was mostly children's and adult fiction. But we were getting fully shelf ready from Baker and Taylor. With Ingram, we can do that, but what we'll probably do is not start that right away. We'll do some kind of minimal processing, so some of the physical things that take time, like protective covering and stickering and barcodes and RFID tags, they will do, but we'll still have to catalog it and get it in. So that's what's happening there, and wanted to mention, just because it could impact collections. Ingram does very well with inventory, and they have good relationships with publishers, but they're going to be getting thousands of libraries that need them, and so I'm cautiously optimistic that it'll be fine, but it's a different world at the moment, so we'll see how they handle it. And hopefully there's not major impacts, right? Like not getting new materials in, or like especially the bestsellers and things that we rely on getting here in time. So wanted to let you know about that. Collection related, much better news. One of my staff in adult who deals with manages all our ebooks and for adults and databases, digital products, let's just say that. And he had been looking into a language platform, which you may have heard of, called Mango Languages. Many libraries use this as their main language learning app. And it's a little bit more than what we have. We have kind of a combination of two. We have Pronunciator, which is more of a language learning website. It's not really an app, but that same company makes an app called Bluebird, and maybe you've used one or both of those. So we will be stopping those and getting Mango. They gave us a good deal on that, discounted enough where it's almost a one-to-one trade-off. But I've used Mango before in other libraries. Patrons who really like it. It's very easy to use. Also offers other things that the other platforms don't have, such as American Sign Language, and it has a kids version. So it offers more. So I think that's good news. When our Bluebird and Pronunciator subscriptions end a little bit different timing. In fact, I think one of them ends at the end of this month and the other one at the end of the year. And what our plan was just to let them go out and start Mango in January in our new budget cycle. And Mango, when he communicated with them, said, look, if we can get the purchase order and stuff, we'll just turn it on. So we may not have a lapse, which is nice. And they'll just give us that credit. Like they won't even charge us until January. But that's officially when we'll start. And so there'll be more publicity about that for sure, once we kind of get something signed or whatever, but it will happen. So that's good news in that area. And
I think it's fabulous to have ASL.
yes, and we have a staff member here who somewhat recently has started an ASL group, and it's getting a lot of turnout. So that's just really good as another language offering. And then the other things I wanted to bring up, one was 2-3 weeks ago we had our annual. It was Banned Books Week, right? 5th through 11th, big thing here. I maybe had mentioned it before, but that event happened now, right? It happened a couple Sundays ago at the museum. I think it was a great event. We counted around 100. I think there was closer to 130, just based off looking at the audience. But we did it at the museum. We brought in the group Outlaw Production Collective. Anyway, they've come in every year. They're a local kind of theater-ish music. They do a lot of different things, but one of the things they do every year is a program they call Books on the Chopping Block. And they whatever are the top 10 most either challenged or banned from last year, they trade off doing readings from it. I think it's really fun. People like it. And then we did a little Q&A panel with myself asking the question, moderating, and a couple of my staff, and then the leader of Outlaw Production. People seem to like it. We put a survey out after. We got about 25 or so responses. All pretty good responses. Certainly a desire to have more of the Q&A and the options for our audience to participate in. It was pretty limited because we weren't time limited, but so we can change that next year. But I think it was great. The other thing too is the Friends arranged through Barbed Wire. They got those top 10 books, set up a really nice display, and sold a bunch of them. I would say most of them.
We did donate it, so donate those to the library.
Yeah,
and it didn't sell.
Right, and then so what didn't sell, they were generous enough to give to the library so we can add those banned books to our collection. Because I was saying, which is probably still true, not just during Banned Books Week, but usually any of those titles are checked out. So it's good to have extra copies, nice, new, clean copies, so that I just got those from Lynn actually on Friday. I wasn't here Friday, but she dropped them in my office. So we'll get those added to our collection, which is great. And that was good. And then the other item I wanted to update from an event we had, which I'll let Tracy do, because Tracy was actually involved, which was the Level Up esports, just to sort of give a little update on how that went, which was pretty good.
Yeah, we had overwhelming support and just good positive feedback from all of the people that I talked to, and all of our vendors and sponsors, everyone who was there. It just felt like an overwhelming outpouring of support. We had a really good turnout. We estimate about 450, which does include our online viewers of the live stream of the tournament. But we just had such a fun day. It felt like even for the first of its kind of the event, we had so much positive feedback and so many people interested in this coming back. And I think we overall had a really good plan, even with us kind of throwing things together condensed in that timeline. And all of us felt like it was very successful. So it was very fun.
There was like over 250 attendees.
so.
Yeah. Some people watch the live stream of the games. More have watched the recording of it. You can still do that. And it's cute to watch it because you don't have to watch the whole thing with them playing unless that interests you. But after each match, there was a kid interviewing them. Like you would see like in any sports thing, right? Like, how do you feel about how you did?
How can you do now?
Yeah, it was.
Go Cities.
It's great. So it's on. I think it's linked still from our website.
Yes.
You can go to the programs because the level up's still there, or you can go to Longmont Public Media who did it. Huge partner in this, and it's on their YouTube page. I just went to YouTube and searched Longmont Public Media, but and then you can kind of just scroll through for what you want because it's like hours of it. Maybe not hours.
It's probably at least a couple hours.
It's a couple hours. Yeah.
I have a couple of follow-up questions about the banned books event.
Yes.
One is, do you have any sense of what the attendance was for that?
We officially counted like 95, but I feel like there was more just from the moment that I was moderating the panel when they turned on the audience lights so I could see who was asking questions. I'm like, there's more than 95 people here because I think. But
do you feel more or less than 2024?
It was less than 2024.
There were less people.
This year, yeah. In 2024, and I think the big attraction for that was a different. It was, I guess, there was more in that event, right? We showed an Oscar-nominated film, the ABC's of Book Banning, and we did. So I think the film drew a lot of people. We did the panel, and Outlaw performed as well. They did a condensed version. That museum, the Stewart Auditorium holds around 200 or so, I want to say. And that one, we had close to capacity.
Yeah.
This one, it definitely wasn't full, and maybe just people were spread out.
In my opinion, the panel was stronger this year. Or it just hit different, but.
Well, that hurts, because I was on the panel last year.
Yeah, but you were the moderator this year.
Oh, wow.
I didn't say it was bad.
No, there was, I appreciate that, and there were a lot of good comments in the surveys, and some people really specifically said, like, they really enjoyed the panel conversation and felt like that's where they learned a lot. Because in our follow-up survey, we asked questions like, what did you come out of here knowing now that you didn't know before? And so some people really specifically referred to the panel, specifically when there was a question on kind of how we might be impacted by school board, like if certain people were to on school board and change what they do in the school, which is really where most of this is faced. And my wonderful children's librarian corrected me because I was like, I don't think there's really an impact. She said, well, there could be because
that was my
if they change something that wouldn't allow us to do school visits because they don't want those nasty public librarians coming in sharing trash literature. You know what I mean. So she's right. So it's like everyone learned something.
Look, it wasn't. I'm not commenting on the quality of the people speaking on the stage. I do think that the questions were more pointed, more specific this year, and I think it lasted.
It was about the same time length last year. What I will say is the process of in 24, the staff member that organized that event wrote the questions herself or gathered them, and it was fine.
Right.
This year, this whole event was committee organized, and part of that committee work was to come up with the questions and kind of narrow them down and kind of get a consensus on it.
They felt very timely.
Yeah.
Last question is, do you check at all circulation after this event or during band books week?
I checked it before, and that was when because the Times Call ran an article on the event, and they wanted to know if their question to me in the interview was, does the library own all the top 10? And I said yes, and in fact, they're all checked out with extensive hold lists. Extensive was a little generous, but there were holds on all of them. Some of them were longer, because most of them were YA books. I'm sure you noticed that.
Yeah.
But the woman that wrote Crank, but the new one, she writes in verse.
Yes.
Come on, Tracy.
Lisa Hopkins, I
Thank
think.
you. Anyway, it's a new book, and so I that one has a lot. She's a popular author. So anyway,
I was curious if it drove circulation, but possibly not. That would be my
it's worth looking
baseless
at.
assumption.
Yeah. But when I looked for the article, I did a quick scan, so it would have been good to look at actual hold lists, hold numbers, and then maybe run it again after
Right.
the event. So no really much.
Anything else in the report?
No, that's it for me.
Nothing budget.
There's no update really on the budget. Well, I should say, council did sign on the budget. So what I've talked about before with that, with what the library will see, which is all level 1 increases, but we will get a nice jump in ebook and the audiobooks that we haven't received before because of the dramatic increase in cost of those items in the last 10 years or so. And a little, and then some of the one-time projects I mentioned, so the Adult Literacy Center, a new PA system, 2 new self-checks, and then kind of finishing the shelving project we did in children's a couple years ago now. The remainder that we didn't do and have a budget for was for the teen portion of that, so we'll be able, that'll be much smaller, but we'll be able to update that.
Yeah.
So, all good.
And no issues that the board needs to be
No,
addressed?
related to budget is the fact that, as far as I know, the city's still in somewhat of a hiring freeze. And I say as far as I know, at least I am. There's been some exceptions that have come through, but a lot of those are funded differently. This is a general fund freeze. We have one position that is in that category, so we're waiting. It could be that we're allowed to recruit it. We have written up a justification for it, but that's still underway. Unless something changes, new information comes out on projections or something, then we may be able to fill it. But that's right now. Knock on wood, it's only one. Now, if I other people leave, then that will get a little more concerning.
And there are no concerns at this time for this library around possible impact from the federal shutdown?
No. It would be very loosely linked like that, meaning like any federal shutdown lingers. If there's impacts to state funding, so state library that relies on a large percentage from federal funding, like that could be, and that could trickle down.
Right.
But the biggest thing that we rely on the state for is the state grant to libraries, which every year we get usually 26, 27 grand for collections. But that's 100% of a state funded project. That's not federal money. It's not LSTA. It's all state. And that was funded for 26-7. So we will get a chunk of money then to kind of pad our collections a little bit.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yep. I wonder if you want to go to Susie, only because
Yeah.
one is going to link to upcoming
Okay.
engagement opportunities. So just a suggestion.
No, I can speak next. I think, something that was looming over our head as far as federal funding and government shutdown are the cuts to SNAP benefits
Yep.
and how that's going to impact folks here in Longmont. We do the free food market at the senior center. We've been doing that every month. We don't have it next month because there's an event that I think it's the second Saturday of the month. But I mean, we're giving out like over 200, people, serving to over 200 people of food that they're getting, and we're getting it from different nonprofits that are connected with the city and senior center to hand out eggs, greens, all the things that they would need, and it's been highly utilized. So then it makes me wonder, in the future, what are we going to have to brace up for as far as meeting people's basic needs? In city council stuff, last Tuesday we heard a community-driven ordinance change on the prairie dog ordinance. They really wanted to tighten it up, especially after, I guess, there was something that happened with the HOA over at Harvest Junction. It was in the paper, where they were just going to automatically exterminate the prairie dogs instead of relocate. The HOA came back and said, we didn't know that was an option, so what can the city do to help, verbalize that more and incentivize relocation as opposed to extermination if that's needed, or, have sanctioned spaces. So, it's kind of exciting to see the residents come up and they wrote the language and they worked with staff and then bringing this forward. I was like, yeah, that's cool. It's democracy in action. And then the other thing that we're looking at is a urban renewal authority for the Twin Peaks Mall area over where Walmart used to be, where it's just that vacant lot. What was it, last summer? Maybe a couple of summers ago, where that teen was shot and killed at that car meetup. So there's been a lot of activity with drugs and gang activity and just in that area. So we got to do something. So we're taking action there. And then reminder for anyone who watches City Council closely, on the 4th, election night, no council meeting, but we still have to meet. We have work to do. So we'll be meeting on Monday the 3rd. So, yeah. And then it's just going through budget. We're approving all the pieces now.
How's that going?
It's interesting. It's a lot. And I was like, reading every fine line, and it was like, okay, did I... You want to make sure you don't miss anything. Yeah.
Where is that location that you were describing, the Twin Peaks?
Okay, so over where Hobby Lobby is, that big parking lot.
Yes.
And then there used to be a Walmart there that was
Get
torn
out.
down. Yeah, when did they tear it down?
10 years ago?
10 years ago? Okay. Yeah,
Before
like,
my time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was like, they tore it down a couple of years ago. And it was like, oh no, it was
Hobby
a
Lobby.
Yeah. Been
a
a while.
long couple of years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, when they built the Super Walmart, they tore it down.
They tore that down, yeah, because we used to go, I remember we go Christmas shopping over there. Kids were little.
Who owns that? Who owns that mall? Is it a private mall?
Yes, it is a metro district.
Oh.
So it's part of this, special district. So, I think that's why you don't get a lot of small mom and pop shops there. Because I would think, as they increase the mill levies on those metro districts, that, the lease rates are very high. That's what I heard from a couple of people who had to close their shop. That it was just too expensive to lease that space. So, and I don't think Hobby Lobby is a part of it. It's adjacent to it. So that's why we've had to separate out a specific urban renewal authority. But it's called the Twin Peaks Mall Urban Renewal Authority. It's to the side, so stuff will be happening soon. Any questions?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. Okay. Well, friends, we're continuing our outreach and communication. Seems to be for some reason this month has been a really interesting communication month. No matter how much we put out in terms of communication, we have, the core library has to put up with, I didn't know, I'm not getting any information. But anyway, we're having a pop-up sale on Sunday, and it's from 1 to 4 in the west lobby here of the library. We're going to be selling mystery and horror books. So that's going to be exciting. Tracy and Jeremiah have been very helpful on that one. And I joined the chamber today, and I was very distressed to know that they don't have nothing about the Friends. So the entire business community has no idea what we do. So I was like, it's very sad. I no matter, but we were members 10 years ago, but the new chamber didn't know anything about us. And I just find it's just so hard to get information out there about what we are and what we do. And so anyway, they were very excited about us joining, and when I told them what we were and what we did. So I'm hoping through our membership and our outreach, through that we'll get the word out there to the business community. We did a very successful book sale. We made over $13,000, and that was a big deal. And we have a very big. Why are you laughing?
We had a bet.
Jamie asked me a while ago, I don't know, when we met last.
Okay.
I said, I think they did like 11,000.
Oh, okay.
So she's teasing me.
Okay.
I'm just much I undersold you.
Okay. Well, we have our relationship with Dream Books is something that I really I want to. If I tell you, maybe you can get the word out. Dream Books is a company in Denver. They're not a not-for-profit company. They pick up our books, which is very, very awesome. We put them out in bins. They send a truck. They pick up these books. They take them to Denver. They sort them similar to what the library does. They have these automatic sorting things. Then they put them out to the internet, so it goes out nationwide. They also offer every educator in the state of Colorado can come to their facility and pick up a book for free, 356 days a year. They can pick up free books, $50 a month. So new teachers can go there and fill up their classrooms with free books. So it's a very awesome facility and program. And they also take donated textbooks, outdated textbooks that maybe people are putting out, and encyclopedias, and they'll send them out to reservations and places that don't have the internet, don't have access to the internet. So no book is wasted that is donated to the Friends. And they don't put anything to the landfills. They recycle it. So I really want people to understand that. So nothing is wasted or taken to the landfill if it's donated to the Friends here at the library. So we really do appreciate the community and their donation of books.
Well, I have a question though,
Okay.
because I thought that I shouldn't donate outdated textbooks.
Now we are.
And I didn't want to.
We're having a little debate with the bookshop people about that. So I want you to know, please, just donate your books because we get 5 cents a pound for donating books. And so,
okay.
so we are going to be putting out something new out there. So please, just ignore that for now. And we've been trying to change all that, but we are going to change that. So please just
Yeah,
ignore that.
that's good to know. Because I just didn't want to give you stuff that you couldn't use, and then it was a problem. So.
The Dream Books people can use it.
That's great.
You do that, and so consider that if somebody asks you that Roger told you that, but you do that, please. And we have an author coming. The library has an author coming, Anna Vigo, and we're going to be having a table there selling her books. And then we also have Stephen Graham Jones coming, which we're very excited about. He's going to be at the museum. He's a Boulder author, and he writes horror books. And so we've been madly reading his books, and they're very light. But I've read 6 so far, and they keep me up at night. But they're very. He's written 32 books. He's also a professor at CU, and very excited about him. We'll be selling his books at the museum also, and the Friends sponsored that one also. And on December 10th, we're going to be having another big book sale. We have a ton of books downstairs, so we're really excited about getting rid of more books there. So that's what we have going on. And so do you have any questions for me? So any outreach opportunities that you see coming up, please let me know, because we really are trying to get out to the community to let them know about the Friends and trying to get off the hamster wheel of just, you know, making money and just trying to maybe get out there and let people know they can donate to us. Oh, we are going to we're going to put together our next board meeting. We have Colorado Gives coming up. And so we really want to we're going to be putting out something to our members also about Colorado Gives. So that is coming up. So that's a big opportunity. So we'd like to be thought of in that regard also. So that's it.
Will there be social media content that
Yes.
we can share?
Yes,
Like
we're-
on our private?
We're on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to have that. Yes, we are. And we have 1,500 people in our database.
Oh, wow.
And we have 400 members, but we have 1,500 people in our database. So we will be sending out missives to all of them.
I ask because that's a good way for advisory board members to be able to support.
Well, I'll talk to Bridget about who you guys are. Are you all members of the Friends?
I am.
Good.
But me sharing like a Facebook post on my page is going to reach more people than
Yeah.
me forwarding an email to
Right,
like
so
the 5 people I talk
Please
to.
do that with your Facebook. Yeah, check out our Facebook posts. Bridget posts, I understand, weekly. One thing, John and Tracy, I've been talking to the circulation desk because they're the first line. People go talk to them, and they told me, several people there told me they get so many requests from patrons, and they get so many, so much told to them via emails or they don't always know what the Friends are doing. So I was just trying to figure out a way to make it easy for them to know what we're doing. So they do have a little stand at the circulation desk with like Friends, like receipts and so forth. So I was just wondering, would I be allowed just to give them like a cheat sheet they could lay down there that just says what the Friends are doing, and then maybe encouragement of somebody to join the Friends.
Yeah.
So then if somebody walks up to them,
Yeah.
they don't have to say, "Oh, I don't know what they're doing," because they didn't really know about our pop-up sale, and they didn't know about, even though, Tracy was making our posters and Jeremiah knew about it. I mean, it's so hard to get the information out there.
And it's honestly a little bit of, 'cause so for things like that, we do communicate that internally. So it's what people are, information they're
There's just
seeing
so
that way.
much.
What I will say is, and this is sort of more of a general thing, when we did our in-service day back in August, one of the outcomes of that, or what we were hearing a lot from staff, was sort of internal communication and how can we be better informed, what's a way. And so us leadership team have been talking about that and maybe having something that existed here a long time ago, but maybe getting that going again, which is more like an internal newsletter of some sort, that's where we can include that information as well. It's just a thought off the top of my head. But let me think about it a little bit. I know we'll be meeting with you on Wednesdays. So,
Something easier because
yeah.
just for some reason,
but the
just
search staff are inundated with questions and information, and so they're not going to always know no matter what.
I feel so sorry for
right?
them because and I'm getting these ridiculous emails. This one woman, she sent me an email. She listed, in her email, she sent the newsletter that she'd gotten with the information about the pop-up sale, and she goes, "I don't understand why I'm not getting any information about the pop-up sale.
God.
I checked the library. There's no posters anywhere in the library, and there was all this information that she sent me in her email. It was all listed there by Mary from the library, and I was like, how much more information did you need?
Yeah.
I mean, it was
It's a little bit of a balance. I mean,
Yeah.
I sort of learned in my career that how many times signage is the perfect example. People are like, we should have a sign for that. I'm like, no. Because if it's going to clutter things, it's just,
Nobody's going to see it.
and I
Nobody's
think,
gonna notice it, yeah.
with that kind of stuff, little bit editorial here, but I think when people say they want that because they're tired of the questions or whatever, there's just like, well, if we just put a sign up, it's like, that's for you to say, go read the sign, and that's not the way I'm going to let you interact with people. So,
Although some days.
I know, no, I get it. It's just, I mean, perfect example, this wasn't even a signage thing, but it was a couple years ago, our front door, one of them broke, and so it was not like glass, like the function of it. We could still shut it, but it wasn't shutting. We could lock it at night. It wasn't that big of a deal, but it did need to get fixed. So finally, they're coming to fix it, and so we had to block off that entrance, and we had cones, caution tape. I literally put a sign over the door handle of the library, and I had multiple people cross over the caution tape, grab the paper on the door and start yanking on the door. And I just and so what I was saying this afternoon, see, it doesn't matter what you do.
No.
Like, it's just oh, that's so weird, like they're blocking off the entrance to the door because it's like a Tuesday at noon. I know the library's open, so let me cross over the caution tape and let me not read the sign that's on the door handle that I have to grab to even get into this place. So that's my example when I say, let's not overdo it.
Yeah.
I can attest from other environments of it,
And I've
communications is
been caught on not
never
reading
done.
signs.
It's the job that's just when you think you've hit it just right, you've got the right vehicles and the right timing and wording and all of that, and something changes and you have to do it over again. So you're probably doing most things absolutely.
Well, it was just funny because it was just like she
Perfect.
sends me the information and says, why aren't I getting this?
Yeah, she's sending you the information that you sent her, and she's saying she doesn't have it.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
That is funny.
Right.
Yeah. No, I was somewhere. It was a city building, and I was in a meeting. It was a building I'm not familiar with, and there was it was like a 2 or 3 hour meeting. And I came out to go to the restroom, and I'm looking around, and I don't see it. So I go up to a window, and this woman's like, "Can I help you?" I said, "Where's the restroom?" She's like, "It's where it says restroom over there." This is why. That's my example why I don't want signage for that purpose for my staff. You're not pointing at signs to make someone feel stupid.
Yeah.
And why didn't I see it? Because there was a big pillar right in front of it. The only way to see the sign was to actually get really close to where the restroom was.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
anyway,
Attitude.
obviously I
is
could go on
unnecessary.
about this, but I think that communication, we are really thinking about ways here so that people don't feel uninformed or that they just don't know what's going on or things without sending email after email, because that's like signage.
Right. And part of that is educating the public to know where they can go to inform themselves.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, we want that, but I want staff to feel like they can answer the question.
It's nice if you can answer a question.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
But for your situation, I would just want you to not feel bad about yourself. Like if you start feeling bad,
Well, no,
are we not doing the right thing?
No,
it's
I
a
get-
two-way street.
It's my-
Communications
I
is
get
two
cynical,
ways.
and so I send these emails out. So I asked Bridget, did I sound kind of too snarky? She said,
Oh.
no, you didn't. If I knew you, I would know you were being snarky, but she doesn't know you. You sound like you're really good at communication. Maybe you want to volunteer with our all-volunteer organization that helps with communication. Yes.
That's a fantastic
Take any
response.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think we're at the end of our agenda, other than to ask for any other library board comments.
I do.
Yes.
So, looking at what our actual powers and duties are, it does say that we are supposed to review the annual report and make recommendations to the city council. How does that happen?
It doesn't, in a way. So first of all, there's no requirement that we do an annual report. I choose to do one. And so we do that. 1 year and 1 year only, we actually present that to council. The way I understand it, let me caveat this, the way I understand it internally is our city manager, he doesn't want every year, every single department going out and delivering annual reports. So it doesn't really happen. And therefore, I don't know if other departments do annual reports or not.
I think the senior center came up, but it was more guided by the board.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the food insecurity piece, and that's what led us to do the free food market. And then when I asked you all to come, it was around the time the ballot measure. So it was like trying to get it out there.
So certainly if we're asked, but there's not like a annual invitation or expectation of when the board is assigned to deliver the report.
So the answer is, if you have an annual report, then if we have any recommendations, we would make them.
I mean, we would do it in here,
Yeah.
which indirectly does get to council because that's what seasons do. And it's not to say it couldn't happen through some kind of more formal recommendation or presentation.
This board has also attended various council meetings to share a statement. So in our meeting, we've prepared a statement or a recommendation and then gone and delivered that. It was like topic specific. It could be in coordination with John's report or some other report that's relevant to the library.
I also wonder if what you're looking at, Barbara, if that's what is like description, but it's not how the actual municipal code is phrased. So it doesn't refer to this board's like review or anything of the annual report specifically. It's rather more it's just set to say to review annually the updated plan for library service is the only thing that really refers to the annual report itself. So it's more the reviewing the library's annual budget requests and to make recommendations to council with that. That's the only thing that really refers to referring that to council.
Okay. I was curious, since we're talking about linking this to our page, that it's always good if someone says, well, when do you do that? You always say, what?
It's an excellent question.
So you choose to do it, is it basically an internal document?
No, it's on our website.
Oh, okay.
I do it, for that it's a little bit of a marketing tool, right? So we can kind of show our accomplishments from the past year.
So was that the brochure that you shared with us? You had the list of everything you took home?
Yes, that was the annual report. And so I brought it here first and shared that and took any questions or comments and finalized it and had my marketing person make it look nice.
So I think the last item that I want to squeeze in the next few minutes is if we could just shore up what our meeting dates are for November, December, and January, because we're the third Monday. Sometimes things get a little wonky around the Thanksgiving holiday, Christmas holiday, and Martin Luther King Day. So the November date is currently the 17th. And I know we'd have to follow up with Nicole, but for the rest of our members, is there anyone who would not be able to make the 17th at least virtually? Okay, so that one is probably set, because even if Nicole can't make it, we would likely achieve quorum. The December date, is the 15th. But I have it on the 16th, and that is either a mistake or something that we discussed in the rest.
16th would be a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right, so that doesn't make sense. Same question though, is anyone not in town on the 15th or couldn't jump on a Zoom call? So we'll assume that is a go. And then the last one is in January. That one we're gonna have to
Yeah,
change,
that's
1, 2,
on
3,
Martin
because
Luther
yep,
King.
it's right. We'll
It's on holiday.
By the way, you might as well talk about February now.
Because that's,
All right.
That's
President's Day, yeah.
All right.
So just settle on it.
I mean, we're in an entirely different world in February.
I'm even gonna be around.
I'm trying to be
Oh my gosh, what a world.
3. So, for January, do we have a proposal?
So last year for January, you bumped it up the week before, and then February was the week after. So I was like, oh, there's no rhyme or reason. It was just probably what people were available to do.
Oh, because January 19th is Martin Luther King Day.
And then February is 16th. I don't see any conflicts on my end, so it really is, how, are there advantages to meeting the week before or the week after?
Well, for February, I would most likely not be here for the 23rd. Because I always go that week
Okay.
to California, because my granddaughters have that week off. So.
Could we propose the 9th? And if that works for everyone in this room, then we would just need to check with Nicole.
It maybe makes sense to bump the other one up early, otherwise we're going to be having 2 meetings
So close together.
Yeah.
So 12.
12.
Yeah, because if the December meeting is the 15th, that's still pretty early in December, it's several weeks.
So it'll be January 12th and February 9th? Sounds good. And we just have to adjust agenda planning accordingly.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure I'll think of it the day before,
Sounds
as I
good.
usually do. Oh, should we not meet tomorrow?
Well, then, 8:58. I will adjourn this meeting.